Hi, welcome back to Quick Excel Tutorials. In today's overview session, I shall be covering what is a cell, what is a column, what is a row, and what is a range. When we're talking about Excel, what are these four concepts? Okay, so let's open up Excel 2013 again. Right, and for this lesson, I shall be opening a blank workbook. So when we say blank, it truly is blank. It's got all these rows and columns. They're all empty. So what do I mean when I say rows, columns? What do I mean when I say a cell? What do I mean when I say a range? So in today's lesson, we shall be covering those topics. Okay. First of all, we shall start with a cell. This is a cell. This is a cell. In a spreadsheet program, such as Excel, each rectangular box in a worksheet, so this is your worksheet, all this is your worksheet, okay? This rectangular box is referred to as a cell. Cell is the intersection point of a vertical column, so these are your columns, okay? And a horizontal row, so this is your row, okay? So this, an intersection between your column here and your row there, is your cell, okay? Data entered into a cell, like here, okay? So we can enter in numbers into this cell. We can enter in text characters into this cell. We can enter in special characters, numbers, letters in a cell, okay? And we can expand the cell. So if you type if the characters that you've typed into a cell exceed the size of the cell, you can expand that cell by increasing, by mouse clicking your mouse key and then moving the margin out like that, okay? So let's look at this cell. This cell has a name, just like you and I have a name. This cell has a name. In this cell, it is referred to as a reference, okay? So our reference starts with the header of the column, which is E in this case, okay? And the header of the row, which is number 4 in this case, okay? So E4 is the reference for this range. So we can call it a name for this cell is E4. This E4 is also available in this little box. It's called a name box, and that's given the cell a name, E4, okay? This particular cell here has a reference F, and then we look to the left, which is 6, okay? So it is called F6. Remember always that it is the range, it is the column heading that goes in the beginning, and the row number goes at the end, okay? So it is F6, same kind of principle here, G8, okay? So these are your cells, right? So if we look at this is a cell, this is a cell, this is a cell. Data entered into Excel is always stored in a cell, as I said before. It is one piece of data and it is unique, okay? In the newest version of Excel, like what we're using here, the 2013, there are 17 billion cells in each worksheet, okay? So remember that, there are 17 billion cells in the worksheet. Now that could increase with the updated versions that come out later on, okay? The next key concept to move on to is columns, okay? So I've shown you cells. I'm going to leave this particular sheet here. So this is a worksheet, and I'm going to leave this worksheet here. I'm going to open a new worksheet, and the way to open a new worksheet is you put your mouse over this plus sign here. It shows you new sheet at the bottom, okay? You click that, it opens a new sheet for you, okay? Now in this new sheet, so what I've taught you now is how to open a new sheet. What I will now show you is what is a column. This is a column, okay? This is a column. So all these are columns. As you can see, A all the way to your numbers can go. So it goes all the way to Z, and then it starts off with AA, AB, AC, and on it goes. Okay. Each column is identified by a letter. Okay. So this is a letter. The letter identifies this column, so it has a unique name, which is H, column H. Right. Now, if we look at this, we can enter data into this column. So, if we say, for example, I want day, and I type in Monday. So this particular column, it would help if I can type Monday, spell Monday, right? So this particular column will have all my days in, days of the week, right? So there's two ways of entering data here. I can put Monday and I can put Tuesday, and I can carry on typing in other days here. The easiest way to do it would be if we click on that cell, you see a little square coming up on the right hand side. The square here, you take your mouse over that square, it becomes a plus sign. If you then click your left mouse key and you drag it down, okay, and if you look on the right, you can see on the box there, it says Friday, and it says Saturday, and it says Sunday. Now I don't want to go beyond that, so I'm going to let the mouse go. And I've got all these. I've got Monday to Sunday in there. I'm going to briefly just explain what this little box is here, which is autofill options, and this gives us various options. We can just copy the cells. We can do fill formatting only. So if we formatted these days in a particular text format or particular color, these will carry that forward. Fill without formatting, so it will just fill it up with Mondays. Fill days, so it will just fill in the days. Fill weekdays, so it will just fill in the weekdays and remove your weekends. Okay, and flash fill, which we're not going to cover in this case. Okay, we've got days here. It's my column. I want to highlight this one because this is the title for this column. So title. Okay, I'll make it bold. Now what I want to do is I possibly want to say I want to do the attendance. Okay, so Joe, Jane, and Gary. Okay, my columns here, J column contains Joe, K column contains Jane, L column contains Gary. Right? We expand this out. As you can see, my 4 columns here. 1, 2, 3, 4 columns. Each column contains a particular type of data. This one contains the days, so I column contains the days. J columns contains Joe's data, attendance data. K columns contains Jane's attendance data. And the L column contains Gary's attendance data. Okay? So, Monday, Joe comes in, so I'm going to give him a 1. Jane comes in, I'm going to give her a 1. And Gary comes in, I'm going to give him a 1. Okay? Tuesday, Joe doesn't come in. Jane comes in. She's good at attendance. Gary comes in and he's good at attendance. Okay? Wednesday, Joe comes in. Jane doesn't come in. She's not well. Gary comes in. Okay? As you can see, we can fill in the data in this particular way quite easily. Right? And so, Joe comes in. Jane comes in, Gary comes in, full attendance on that day. Friday. But Gary doesn't come in because he's not well, he wants a long weekend. On weekend, no one comes in, okay? We've got our data here, we've got our range. We've got the days, okay? We've got attendance data, we've got headings for those columns, right? If we look at Monday, so let's look at that. I6, the cell I6 contains Monday. The cell I7 contains Tuesday. The cell I9 contains Thursday for you. Okay, so those are cells. This is a column. Okay. Row. We shall cover rows now. Alright. So row is the horizontal data. Okay, so in this case, my row 6 contains Monday, and it contains the attendance data for Joe, Jane, and Gary. Okay, my row 6. My row 7 contains Tuesday, and on Tuesday the attendance data for Joe, Jane, and Gary. And this is my row again. Row 9 contains my Thursday data. Okay, there are more than 1 million rows in each Excel worksheet. So this range that you can see here, this worksheet that you can see, contains 1 million rows. Excellent. Right, so the next thing we look at, this is a row. I want to color that row in a different color. So what I could do is I can highlight this, and highlight Thursday, for example, just this here. So doing it across the spreadsheet, because I may want to enter additional data in these fields. So what I'm going to do is just highlight these ones. I can click this fill color. Okay, as you can see, it gives you the description, and you can choose whatever color you want. Okay, so I'll go for yellow. Right, and the weekends can be green because I'm at home. Okay, green days. Monday is usually a red day because you're not feeling so well, waking up early in the morning, so I'm going to give it a red day. Okay, so row 6 is red day. Row 9 is a yellow day because you're getting all cheerful Fridays coming. And row 11 and row 12 are green days because they're Saturday and Sunday, you're relaxing at home. Alright, we've covered cell. This is a cell. We've covered column. This is a column. This is a column, and this is a column. And we've covered rows. This is a row. This is a row. Here's another row, and here's another row. Okay, so all these on the left hand side, all these numbers represent your rows. Okay, and all these letters represent your columns. All these little rectangle boxes represent your cells. Okay, one final item to cover is a range. Okay, so what do we look at? Here's a range. My range for the weekend is Saturday and Sunday. I select that. That is my range. Okay, I11 to 12 is my range. Right? Range is a group or block of cells. Okay, so here's a group. Here's my range. Okay. Monday to Sunday is my range. Okay, so let's look at this. This is my range, Monday to Sunday. As you can see, it's got a big border around it and a small square box. And it's got this icon, quick analysis. We're not going to look at this today. Future lesson, we will. But today's lesson, we're not going to cover the quick analysis function. So this is a range. This is a range, attendance data. This is a range for Gary's attendance data. Okay. Ranges can be made up of adjacent or non-adjacent cells. So we can say this range and these ranges. Okay. So these are my two ranges here. Okay, so you get what I'm showing here. So your range. Now what we might want to do, say for example, a good use of a range is, say for example, we wanted to calculate the total number of this, all these values. What I could do is I can put my icon here, so it highlights this cell. I can go here and I can put an equal sign in there, and I can say sum, open bracket. I can select the range to there. Okay, so that's my range 7R to 1C. Okay, that's my range 7R to 1C. Alright, and I press the enter key here, okay, or the tick mark, right, and that gives me a total of 4. So if we count the range here, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 attendances in that week for Joe. Okay, so that's another thing I've shown you, how to calculate the range. Right, total of that range is 4. Okay, so in today's lesson, just to bring the lesson to an end quickly, we've covered cells. Here's a cell, Monday cell. Here's a cell, Wednesday cell. Here's a cell, Gary's attendance, 1 cell. Okay, so the cell has a reference, L. 8. Joe, J5 is Joe. Okay, so that's the cell, that's the reference. We covered columns. Here's a column. Okay, so my day column contains Monday to Sunday, right? Here's a column. My Jane column contains Jane's attendance data. Gary's column contains Gary's attendance data. Okay? And then we covered rows. Here's my row. My Tuesday row contains attendance data on Tuesday for Joe, Jane, and Gary. My Friday attendance data contains attendance data for Joe, Jane, and Gary. Okay? And it's row 10. Now if I wanted to find the reference number for Friday, what do I look at? I look at the top of that column, which is highlighted here, is I. And I look to the left, and number 10 row is highlighted. Okay? So I hope you enjoyed today's lesson. Until next time, take care. Bye.